Good afternoon, everyone. And the panel 4 is crew, welfare, and education. My name is Adelina Bejeva, and I'm very happy to be part from this forum, and especially excited to join for first year. We have an excellent lineup of speakers, but now we will start with one video from Jordan Taylor, founder of Project Harrison.
Greetings from San Francisco, California. My name is Jordan Taylor, and I, along with Professor Dr. Padmapriya Jayaraman, are the co-founders of the not-for-profit ProjectHarrison.org, an organization dedicated to exploring maritime informatics in the age of artificial intelligence. It's an honor to join the Global Compass Forum here in beautiful Varna, and I thank Captain Paskov and the conference committee for the opportunity to speak with this accomplished group of shipping professionals. I also want to recognize Bulgaria's strong commitment to maritime digitization, reflected in significant academic publishing activity, and in the work of Captain Nikolai Bedzev in marine simulation engineering, who is preparing the next generation of maritime data specialists and informaticists. Bulgaria is setting a clear course in maritime digitization now and in the future. For those who may not know me, I've been in the commercial maritime industry for almost 30 years. I sailed as a deck officer for 10 years, mostly on VLCCs and in the capacity of third, second, and chief officer, and did shore operations both on the technical and commercial side in products and chemicals, and taught nautical science and maritime data science in a university setting. I've concurrently been a computer programmer since I was a child, where from time to time I published peer-reviewed work on the subject of maritime informatics, culminating in a Fulbright Specialist Grant by the US State Department in 2024, one of the highest academic honors in the United States. I was the first professional mariner to be awarded this type of honor in United States history. Today, I would like to speak about my favorite topic, generative artificial intelligence and its real-world applicability to the commercial maritime industry. For those less familiar, generative AI refers to computer models that can create new content, text, images, or code based on patterns learned from large amounts of data. Unlike traditional software that follows fixed instructions, these systems can generate responses, summarize complex documents, or draft entirely new material that resembles what a human might produce. McKinsey Global Institute estimates that generative AI could contribute between 2.5 and 4.5 trillion in global economic value each year in the coming decades, largely through productivity gains. To put this into context, that annual figure is comparable to the total global ocean freight revenue across all cargo types, liquid, dry, and container, over a 5 to 10 year period, according to Clarkson's. So the question is, how will generative AI affect us as shipping professionals? Within maritime operations, we see three practical areas where generative AI already has relevance: access to information, communication between humans, and communication between humans and machines. I want to be clear that in each of these areas, AI is not replacing shipping professionals, it is augmenting them. This approach is often called human in the loop or HELO. I'll drill down on the three applications with practical use cases. The first application is access to information. Many of us already know that generative AI can support this. For example, the shipping industry is one of the most regulated and paperwork-heavy industries in the world. In the United States, port state regulations encompass around 7 million words alone. As many know, non-compliance with port state regulations of any country may not only result in fines, but also jail time for ship's officers. Generative AI may serve to reduce paperwork burden on crews and shore operators, provided the information relayed to the user is timely and correct. The second area is human-to-human communication, especially across language and cultural barriers. Communication within the maritime industry comes in many forms. For example, voice communications and email communications. One example is working with international crews of which I would bet that not one shipping professional listening to me right now has not worked with another shipping professional of a different country, language, and cultural background. Indeed, shipping is global. In this way, generative AI may help bridge the gaps between language and cultural understanding of others. When crew and shore dynamics matter, this is a valuable use case. The third application, which I don't see mentioned very often, is a relationship of a human to shore or vessel systems. In other words, communication with machines. For example, at sea, crews rely on feedback from user interfaces to reduce operational risk. As many who have been to sea or use shore vessel management systems know, bad systems can heighten risk. I strongly believe that language models, if properly placed, can improve communication between machines and their respective human operators and engineers. This could take the form of decluttered user interfaces, timely, helpful suggestions to vessel operators, or models combing through sensor data to identify risky patterns or behavior. The challenge here will be ensuring compliance of generative AI with high-risk AI frameworks as relayed by the European Union's Artificial Intelligence Act. One question of application often gets discussed is how generative AI will affect the commercial side of shipping. Shipping, as we know, is an old industry. Shipbrokers predate the telegraph, and bills of lading can be found on clay tablets during the Roman Greco era. Some believe that the intermediary between the owner and charter is a key element of global shipping, much like physics will never go away. Others believe that it may take mass consolidation of intermediaries. This remains a question that, in my opinion, no one can answer presently. What I find most interesting are the solutions that will be generated by individuals and often young and motivated shipping professionals working alone or in small teams. This will absolutely happen. AI-powered tools such as Replit, though new and incipient, will give individuals the power of application development and may one day supplant the need for spreadsheets, which are used by 1.3 billion people globally. I strongly believe Excel dominance in shipping offices will eventually give way to app development. So in my opinion, that young operator who is working on a side project, encourage and support them in that endeavor. It may very likely result in cost savings for the organization. I would like to briefly mention what AI will not affect. A brand new study by Microsoft in May of 2025 lists marine engineers and deck officers at number 9 and number 32 respectively as the least affected by generative artificial intelligence among all global industries. This, combined with the mathematical impossibility of annotating training data for marine vision models, among other reasons, makes, in my opinion, commercial autonomous vessels a non-reality. I apologize to those here that believe math has a future, but as someone who's trained vision models myself, I find quantifying the unquantifiable as a fool's errand and not worth our collective energy. The only place you will see it now is for military application because, simply put, the military is an unregulated entity. I'd now like to briefly turn it over to my colleague, Dr. Padma Priya Jayaraman, a trained electronics engineer who has a PhD in artificial intelligence with a specialization in vision models and robotics.
Distinguished guests, colleagues, and leaders. Throughout history, one simple tool transformed the way humanity crossed the seas: the magnetic compass. It did not make sailors obsolete, it made them stronger, braver, and more capable of reaching horizons once thought impossible. Today, another compass is emerging. It does not point north, it points forward. It's artificial intelligence. And the truth is this: AI is inevitable. The question is not if we will adopt it, but how wisely we will navigate with it. Three unstoppable forces are driving this inevitability: economics, safety, and sustainability. The International Chamber of Shipping estimates AI driven voyage optimization can cut fuel consumption by 10 to 15%. That is millions saved per fleet year after year. According to Alliance Safety and Shipping Review 2024, 75% to 96% of marine accidents still stem from human error. AI systems, whether in navigation assistance, traffic management, or predictive maintenance, can detect risks long before humans notice them. In the respect of sustainability, the International Maritime Organization IMO has committed to net zero greenhouse gas emissions by or around 2050. AI integration is one of the few realistic pathways to achieving this, from real-time emissions monitoring to optimized routing that cuts unnecessary fuel burn. Let me be clear. My intention is not to suggest fully autonomous ships taking over our seas. Instead, the real power of AI lies in integration with human expertise. In Rotterdam, AI helps predict vessel arrival times with 20% greater accuracy, supporting harbor masters and pilots but not replacing them. In Singapore, AI tools manage vessel traffic in one of the busiest waterways in the world. On board, AI predictive maintenance systems alert engineers to mechanical failures before they happen. But the potential of AI goes far beyond ports and ships. Allow me to share an example from my own work. In agriculture, I developed a drone integrated with computer vision and robotic arms for eradicating weeds in paddy field. Traditionally, weed removal requires intensive manual labor or excessive use of chemicals. With AI, computer vision can detect weeds in real time and guiding precise interventions. The result is higher productivity, lower cost, and reduced environmental impact. The lesson is simple. Whether in the sea or in the soil, AI does not replace human effort, it amplifies it. It helps us work smarter, safer, and more in a sustainable way. Every technology carries risk. AI is no exception. The World Economic Forum warns that cyber attacks on the maritime sector have tripled in the past 3 years. The more connected our ships and ports, the more vigilant we must be. If an AI system is in error, who's responsible? Maritime law must evolve to address these gray areas. AI will not eliminate seafarers, but it will change their role. Tomorrow's mariners will need to combine seamanship with digital literacy, able to be aware of how systems work and how to address misinformation as naturally as they now read a chart. The inevitability of AI also means the inevitability of responsibility. When the compass was invented, it did not eliminate the navigator. It gave the navigator confidence in uncharted waters. The compass transformed exploration. GPS transformed navigation. Artificial intelligence has the potential to transform the very future of maritime trade. But let us be clear, this transformation cannot be left to chance. We must not drift with the tide of technology. We must chart its course. That is why the IMO, maritime law, and our regulatory institutions must lead. Leadership today will decide whether AI becomes a tool of progress or a source of risk. If we hesitate, adoption will be fragmented, unsafe, and unequal. So, I leave you with this thought. AI is not the end of seamanship. It's the new compass in our hands. The responsibility is ours. The horizon is wide, and the time to set our course together is now. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Jayaraman. I'd like to continue by asking a practical question. If AI is our new compass, how do we evaluate it for use in the commercial maritime industry? So how do we evaluate generative AI for commercial use? From my perspective as a former mariner and shore operator, the approach is straightforward. We apply large foundation models to verify data and information to generate outcomes. Those outcomes must then be benchmarked and measured with confidence and accuracy levels explicitly assessed. In the case of high-risk AI applications, an IMO-approved risk assessment process must be established and in place. That's really it. For better or worse, the genie is out of the bottle. Our task now is to wrangle data and information in a way that can be used by artificial intelligence in a responsible way. In fact, we've already done this in the maritime industry during the advent of ACTIS in the 1990s, through the eventual development of S57 standards and now S100 frameworks. We're now tasked to do it once more within the context of AI reasoning tools. The downside of generative AI: irresponsible use and/or malicious propagation of misinformation. We are already seeing it. At Project Harrison, we ran an informal study in 2024 of maritime informatics companies that purported to either be using or developing AI. We found that 95% of these companies had no defined problem statement, method, or outcome. There was no evaluation, accuracy, or confidence score for their purported models. In a word, there was nothing. So we're already seeing companies trying to use misinformation for garnering investment money, and I see no end in sight for the snake oil salesman approach. However, the largest misinformation risk is the introduction of bad AI systems into high-risk environments. As a collective industry, we've made incredible strides in safety management. In fact, we're the safest we've ever been. And it's a testament to training, professionalism, and work of mariners, ship owners, and governmental agencies, among many others globally. It is the biggest win in our industry in the past 30 years, and one that frankly goes unrecognized by the general public. We are already seeing bad AI. Who has not seen a deck officer or pilot using an app or non-approved device on the bridge of a ship? I personally sailed on my license within the last 2 years. At least in the US, this is a persistent problem, and one that is propagated even by senior and command level officers. With generative AI being applied to many off-the-shelf applications, the chance of misinformation making its way to the bridge or engine room is a real possibility. This, in my opinion, must be stopped. We need a sanitary bridge environment with regards to data and information, as well as for critical systems ashore, such as VTS. The first mitigation step is twofold. The International Maritime Organization must work on and publish high-risk, medium-risk, and low-risk AI assessment framework that aligns with the European Union Artificial Intelligence Act. This is an absolute must. There are existing frameworks out there. Here in San Francisco, the University of Berkeley maintains a working document. Therefore, the IMO would simply be tasked with adopting the framework for maritime use. There will be resistance from the industry with regard to end-to-end visibility and training data, and the cost of continuous monitoring with high and possibly medium risk solutions. We are already dealing with this in the autonomous car industry here in the States, where we feel that some companies are actively circumventing safety regulations for a profit motive. The second step is training our future shipping professionals in data science. We cannot ignore this situation any longer. Mariners must be digitally competent, be able to identify misinformation, and be able to use future AI systems in a responsible manner. I know often our community by choice has one foot in the past. I understand. We are a millennia-old industry and we have a rich heritage. But digital education and training must be adopted across the board and within STCW, not only within broader nautical science and business of shipping curricula, but we desperately need maritime information specialists as well. We as a shipping community are being left behind. This is not a US issue or Indian issue or Bulgarian issue. It's a global issue. Many of us know that in the early 2000s, our bridge resource management techniques were adopted from the aviation industry, a relatively new industry in a situation we should have been collectively embarrassed by. Let's not let this happen again. However, I want to be absolutely clear. The responsibility for assessing the risks of generative AI must not fall on the mariner or shore operator. Professionals at sea and ashore need awareness of these systems, but not liability for their failures. Systems must be designed to be human-centric, reducing or eliminating the burden on the operator. There must be no culpability for the end user. I believe this principle should be written in the IMO policy with accountability for failure placed squarely on the system designers. To see what responsible innovation looks like in practice, we can look to Bulgaria. A standout example is the Naval Academy in Varna, led by Admiral Professor Dr. Kalin Kalinov and Dr. Nikolai Bedzev, the latter a global pioneer in simulation engineering. Dr. Bedzev is developing a new generation of postgraduates and PhDs who are at the forefront of maritime digitization, positioning Bulgaria as a current and future leader in this field. The commitment to meaningful, cutting-edge work is exactly why I traveled from San Francisco, arguably the world's tech capital, to Varna in August of 2025, where the most important advancements are truly taking place. Bulgaria matters. Before I close, I would like to again thank Captain Paskov and the Global Compass Forum organizers for the opportunity to join this forum. For anyone wishing to know more about Project Harrison and its mission, I invite you to connect with me or my colleague, Dr. Padma Priya Jayaraman, on LinkedIn. Our goal is to advance AI-first maritime informatics by building tools, data, and applications that serve the shipping community directly. Thank you.
Now, I will introduce you to our first presenter, Professor Augustin Mayofre. Professor Mayofre, welcome. And we will need 1 minute for technical to move on.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much the organization. This International Maritime Forum, Global Compass. My name is Agustin Martin. I am a Master Mariner and Dean of the Barcelona School of Nautical Studies. And I am the IMO Goodwill Maritime Ambassador in Spain. Okay, my topic is living and working at sea. What does the crew need? We have in the last 20 years very important changes that have affected the lives of seafarers. One of the most important changes has been the size and capacity. Are the technical factors, the size and capacity. For example, the container ships have grown enormously. Example, ultra-large container vessels carrying over 23,000 TEUs. Cruise ships, no, with over 6,000 passengers, or LNG carriers, enormous carriers, no, and other ships. Okay. The second factor, energy efficiency and sustainability. Adoption of alternative fuels, LNG, methanol, biofuels, and even hydrogen projects or ammoniac. Development of hybrid systems, use of wind-assisted propulsion. The digitalization and automation. Ships with autonomous navigation systems, use of the Internet of Things, or real-time monitoring and control from shore. The safety and design, improvements in fire safety and water compartmentation, advanced detection and rescue systems, or in cruise and ferry vessels, a stronger focus on passenger comfort and energy resilience. The environmental regulations, the implementation of IMO 2020, limiting sulfur content in marine fuels, or new requirements to reduce the CO2 emissions in line with IMO 2030 and 2050. Also installation of scrubbers, the exhaust gas cleaning systems. Today, the modern ships are larger, cleaner, more digital, and increasingly automated. The new generation of seafarers requires a different skill set than traditional crews, since ships today are more technological, automated, and environmentally regulated. The main requirements are technical and digital skills, the environmental competence, the operation and maintenance on new technologies, safety and resilience, and soft skills. In the soft skills, it's important the ability to work in multicultural crews, effective communication in maritime English, critical thinking and problem solving, especially when digital systems fail, and continuous learning means that since technology evolves rapidly. The modern seafarer is not only a traditional mariner, but also a technological operator and environmental manager. This is the profile. Is now required of a seafarer is a dynamic and adaptable maritime professional trained in advanced ship technologies, environmental compliance, and digital navigation systems. Combines traditional seamanship with a strong technical, analytical, and problem-solving skills to ensure safe, efficient, and sustainable vessel operations. Other very important factors for modern seafarers: health and well-being, physical and mental resilience to cope with long voyage, isolation and challenging working conditions, adaptability to automation, ability to supervise, operate, and interact with autonomous or semi-autonomous systems, cultural competence, sensitivity and adaptability to multicultural crews and passengers, leadership and teamwork, a strong leadership for officers, cooperation and coordination among diverse teams, continuous professional development, commitment to ongoing education, simulator training, and certifications, resilience to change, capacity to quickly adapt to evolving maritime regulations, new technologies, and global crises. The reduction of crew on board ships. In my case, my first ship was a large container ship with 2,400 TEUs containers, a large container ship. After 24 years, my ended ship was a large container with 15,000 TEUs. But what is the difference? The difference is the size, yes, but the crew members. In the first ship, we have 27 crew members. In my last ship, 17 crew members. But we have a difference, not technicals, but psychologicals and human factors. Today, living at sea means long shifts, isolation, unpredictable weather, and limited resources. The most important points to consider for a normal life on board: the accommodation, small but functional cabins, limited privacy, clean lines and ventilation are key for comfort. Food and nutrition. Balanced, nutritious meals are essential. Often one cook for the whole crew. Clean drinking water and consideration of dietary needs. Communication. Internet is limited or expensive. Staying in touch with family is vital for mental health. Leisure and well-being. A space for relaxation, TV room, books, gym, if available. Real free time is necessary to recharge. Conclusion and reflection. Life at sea is demanding but vital for global trade. The world is advancing, and the maritime transport sector is undergoing very significant changes. The conclusions as follows. Nautical schools and academies must adapt their curricula to include new technical knowledge and regulatory requirements. It is essential to have instructors whose skills and expertise are aligned with emerging maritime technologies. It is essential for schools and academies to have adequate and modern equipment. The ship owners must ensure continuous training of their crews in all aspects. The new ships must be adapted to their crews. They must guarantee internal communication among crew members and external communication between the crew and the company and family. It is essential that an appropriate atmosphere of well-being and respect is maintained on board ships. Another important point, is not in the slide, is very important, the review and update the Maritime Labour Convention. And closing line suggestion. Yesterday, my colleague said, not shipping, not shopping. But it's important, without seafarers, the world would stop moving. Let's take care of those who keep it going. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Mayofre. Very interesting topic. Any questions from audience? No?
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And now, next, let's move on to our next presenter, Captain Nikolai Bejev, PhD, marine pilot, owner of Nautical Blue, and he is also one of most important people of my life. Captain Bejev, please.
I'll try to be very fast, not lose time. When I designed my first simulator, I was afraid of rendering of virtual reality inside. It's not look like real bridge, but this simulator received class certification, very prestigious class certification from GMV, bridge operation. So just one picture of using virtual reality of my students, together with geographic information system and information for the ocean. We can make very precise simulators. So our mutual project with Marvel Blue, this is specialized master pilot exchange simulator, which is I think very good technology level. So it's location on fore and aft mooring stations, a lot of precise simulations, also very intuitive, very easy for use, with equipment, precise expression of equipment, also for objects, expression, simulation of the land. This is Sporokov Bridge. So very real models of simulated vessels. Next one about precision simulation. Now we have very big computer power. So this new library is very good for us. We combined dynamic models, CFD, computational fluid dynamic, also physics informed neural networks, which is big advantage to solve with artificial and not artificial data, with sensor data. We can solve with artificial intelligence, with differential equations with neural networks. So next one is very good intelligent assessment system for assessment of ship's navigators. So it is part of Marvel simulator. This is classification problem. First is assessment tool to be advisory tool for instructors, but the problem is how to divide three classes proper for promotion, whether it's needed additional exercise and to predict problems for the future. So I'm very proud with simulation engineering. This is master's degree in engineering in Naval Academy, which is very high level, especially with simulation. So the simulation engineering is not to be built or design simulator. Simulation engineering is the new way of engineering. I mean future prediction, design, and optimization. So we suggest for ship owners very mobile, very cheap, online solution for any simulators, any ship specific equipment. And I have some movies from design stage of Marvel to have impression what kind of simulator is this. This is different types of bridges. So it's looks like a real bridge. So next one, Zdravko is also next video. I like its Japanese car carriers, Yokogawa. You see compass, very nice, very attractive. It can be visible also in virtual reality. Next one. Virtual reality use. So this is mirror. You can change your heads, uniforms. It's very attractive. So next one. Yeah, binocular. Yeah. You see? It's very attractive, very interesting for the sun. Next one. One battle scene, a lot of car carriers in Varna Lake. Next one, drop. A little bit ahead, if it's possible. I want to show this is bottom. I designed also in bottom. You see real bottom, not only ports. It's very attractive, also is very good for simulations. Next one. This is virtual reality interaction, but simulator can be designed like a normal hardware bridge. No need to be only in VR. You can combine all technologies, desktop, multimedia, and also to make real bridge, to prepare a real bridge. Normal. So next one. Yes, this is whistle. Real equipment, etc., etc. Our future plans to have different vessels. Our future plans are also in mooring and safety equipment to prevent life at sea and for higher education, university education. So thank you. I like it. I mean, if you have some questions or presentations, I'll be available here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Captain Bejev.
So any questions now to Captain Bejev from the audience? Okay, so the next presentation will be of Marieta Stefanova, but will be presented by Anna Karadencheva. Both of her is lecturer from Naval Academy. So welcome.
Thank you. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today I have the opportunity to present the presentation of Associated Professor Marieta Stefanova, who is not able to be here today, but I'm going to introduce her work because we have conducted some joint research on this topic. I know because I think this is the last paper today, and it's a little bit different as a topic from all the other interesting presentations that we have heard. But as we know, life at sea is often described in terms of navigation, technology, artificial intelligence, as we saw today, and global trade, of course. But let's be honest. No one ever wrote a ballad about galley training or the thrill of eating reheated pasta for the 10th day in a row. Food on board is not a topic we talk about much, yet it plays a huge role in a crew health, morale, and even teamwork. In this presentation, Sustainable Nutrition in Sea, Training for Culinary Multiculturalism, I want to show you why meals at sea deserve as much attention as engineers, radars, or cargo schedules. Here, I would also like to say that a lot of our marine students, when coming back from their long voyages, said that they have a problem with the food on board, and it was a topic that is really interesting for us to research. Our literature review and analysis shows that while shipping is vital to the global economy, crew welfare issues remain unresolved, most notably loneliness during long voyages and difficulties in ensuring fresh food on board. Supplying ships with fresh produce is hindered by spoilage risk and galley limitations. In this context, a deeper understanding of customer behavior and preferences enables more precise segmentation and tailored services. Segmentation thus goes beyond its traditional marketing role to become a strategic tool for better resource allocation and informed business planning. This paper looks, on the one hand, at how integrating healthier meal options into galley management training can improve crew health while also fostering cultural awareness and essential soft skills, as our captain from the UPC said just 5 minutes ago, through an educational strategy that is long overdue. On the other hand, it explores an innovative culinary training program designed to introduce healthy, multicultural meals, aiming not only to enhance crew welfare, integration, and operational efficiency, but also to provide evidence-based proposals for more effective training. This research uses multiple correspondence analysis to explore the links between healthy meals, cultural preferences, social integration, and of course, team building. To understand the impact on galley management, we also analyzed training materials, conducted interviews with some participants, especially our students, and observed training sessions. Our findings show that adding healthy multicultural meals to galley training improves crew health, motivation, and mostly cohesion. Cultural diversity training further boosts cross-cultural awareness, tolerance, and cooperation, while also strengthening teamwork between different cultures. Overall, Participants showed very positive perceptions. More than 83% agreed that providing multiple healthy meals improved crew health, and nearly 63% highlighted the value of shared meals in boosting morale and reducing loneliness during long voyages. The bird table analysis confirms strong interrelations among respondents' perceptions of training outcomes. Health, satisfaction, social exchange, morale, of course, operational effectiveness, and resource sustainability are all closely linked. Together, the results highlight the broad and multidimensional benefits of introducing healthy, multicultural meals into galley training. Our MCA results identified three main factors. Factor 1 reflects general satisfaction and the perceived effectiveness of the trainer. It clearly distinguished motivated participants from less positive ones. The strongest influence came from two items. Those who felt the training reduced food waste and maximized resources also reported notable improvements in crew morale, communication, and overall performance. Factor 2 reflects crew satisfaction, reduced isolation, and sustainability. It shows that participants who embraced multicultural cuisine reported greater pleasure, less loneliness at sea, and stronger sustainability skills. In particular, those who valued sustainable food preparation linked it directly to higher satisfaction and reduced feelings of isolation. Factor 3 highlights sustainability and healthy habits. It shows that participants gained practical skills in sustainable food management while also linking sustainable cooking knowledge to better health outcomes. Taken together, the findings confirm that integrating healthy, multicultural dishes into galley trainings improves crew health, morale, satisfaction, social cohesion, and resource sustainability in sea. In conclusion, bringing healthy and multicultural food practices into galley manager training is both efficient and effective for improving the seagoing diet. This approach not only strengthens crew health and nutrition, but also boosts morale, cultural understanding, and overall performance on board. By teaching culinary diversity and sustainability, maritime training programs can benefit both vessel owners and crews, building healthier, happier, and more cohesive teams at sea. Thank you for your attention. Do you have any questions? Yes, lady. Thank you. Oh no, multicultural. Yes, thank you. Thank you for this question. It's very important actually, because in some ships we have two different cuisines, because we have a somehow Muslim cuisine and other religion cuisines. But multicultural, we mean that a lot of different national meals or spices. For an example, Filipinos prefer one kind of food. Chinese have another kind of food. And the training shows that if we create more trainings and more diversity for the crew, and we have training with some of the chefs on board, actually, the teamwork and the crew is feeling better and the results are better. So if we invest a little bit more in better care for our sailors in the term of good nutrition and healthy meals, and opening eyes for another meals and new tastes, this is definitely good for them. Oh no. Oh no, one meal they will be dead after after 1 week. A lot of different. Yes. Thank you. Another questions?
So, any other questions to the Miss Karadencheva? One more.
I know. Change the cook. Change it. No, we have a lot of young cookers that want to work, that have very interesting ideas. And with artificial intelligence, they can create so much more recipes. it's a hard problem actually, but perhaps change the cook. You can come to the NVNA. We have a lot of young cookers that are learning right now management. Home.
Yes, you cannot simply send him home. We can hold this factor. First of all, he is performing his job. Is he doing the job? Yes, he is doing the job. That's the quality of the job. You cannot say no because you have the quality table.
Yes, you have it. It's a big issue. Actually, this topic is really a big issue, and a lot of mariners says that it's a problem. So perhaps changing a little bit the requirements in this field is going to be better for them. But we can drink coffee and have a chat about it. Bulgarian chefs.
So thank you for the question. The next questions will be after, and I will present. Thank you to Mrs. Karadencheva. So the next presenter, it will be Stanislav Stamenov. Welcome, please, for your presentation. The floor is yours.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm really happy to be here, and it's not a courtesy because I was raised with the spirit of the sea and born in Burgas, raised in Varna, a 10 commander of young sails. I will try to make some notes just to link here an IT guy with the maritime business. My father, who is captain foregoing, already was happy at this point of time that he was seeing at me also that I would become a captain. But I graduated management in electronics communication, and just before a couple of years established my own company. Just to continue with the dots, before 20 years supported also the marine cluster here in Varna in its establishment, and also building the simulator in the logistic area, which nowadays probably still are hopefully running in the technical university. But nowadays I'm in the role of being a member of the ICT cluster Varna, and really thank you for the invitation. By the way, together with Catherine Badgev, our companies are members of this cluster, and I would like to kind of note down how we can basically collaborate and benefit from the synergy between IT and maritime. So first of all, who we are. Hopefully, yeah, it works. Now, ICT cluster Varna, generally it brings organizations and experts who share one vision, and the vision is to develop Varna as a center of innovation technologies, information technologies, and in the Black Sea region. And it's just not a wish. We are really a couple of, you will see how many actually, couple of experts, companies, also NGOs, universities, who spare our time, effort, money in this direction. And where we are nowadays, you can see 76 members, 38 from the business, 7 universities, and many schools as well, non-governmental association in this direction. I won't go into details here, who is a full member, who is an associate member, but the fact is that we work together in this direction. We have a couple of working groups, and they really put a lot of effort in order to achieve our vision. Just a couple of logos here of those members mentioning about the vision. So generally we are focusing 3 key elements: the region, the education and the personal policy, and the members. So in the area of the region, here the idea in our vision is to establish, I will repeat myself, but it's good to be said, to establish Varna as a globally recognized region for IT technologies, innovations, and investment, and also a preferred location where people and companies would like to develop themselves. So this is really the leitmotif here. In the area of education, the vision is to create conditions for the optimal development of skilled professionals and talents to support the business needs, because this is crucial. Now, just before me, here we were discussing about cooking, and if there are not the right people with the right recipes and the right, let's say, view and sight in this direction, of course, someone will like to sack, others won't, of course. The members, because any organization should also deliver some points to the members itself. And here in this direction, we work in creating a collaborative ecosystem for the members in order to benefit from the effects. So this is about the vision. Based on the vision, we have defined, of course, our goals, and they are also following the 3 pillars: active contribution to education, development of the cluster business ecosystem and collaboration, and establishing a strong regional brand for the ICT cluster Varna. Well, without going into too much details here, the goals respectively in the contribution to education is really to support and deliver and help to update and have an up-to-date learning materials, encourage the students to be engaged and engage them in the projects that we from the cluster also deliver. In the area of development of the cluster business ecosystem, here you will see later, we are developing a lot of, let's say, conducting a lot of events which sustain this ecosystem. And about the establishing of a strong regional brand, through these events, through the strategy that we have and to the effective communication that we hopefully do, we work in this direction. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, please stop and ask. Don't wait until I'm finished. Otherwise, I will continue. So when we say that we have these visions and goals, next to this, we offer some products or services that different stakeholders can benefit. And as you can see here from the slide, mostly we are focused, of course, to the business and to the students. And to the students, we provide internships, scholarships. We also suggest some themes which can be basically be part from their curriculum, and they can be part from real projects that are run and developed within the companies. For the universities and schools, we support and collaborate with both, and mainly with providing some professionals who can basically go into the classes and teach the pupils and the students. In some cases, having joint projects and giving a feedback to the educational content and content. Probably you saw that we have also a startup in our as a member of our organization. For the startups, we basically provide some opportunities, support, mentorship, and on top of that, for all of this, we try to now build an ICT TV, and you will see later, maybe on the next slide, exactly how many events we try to organize in order exactly to sustain this ecosystem. So I will not just mention the regular monthly meetings that we have with all the members, but I will focus on the working groups, the mentors that we have provided to those events. The events themselves, you can see just 30 events plus, and with more than 300 participants. Just here, some sneak peek in one of the, or some of the events with more than 200 or 600 events, participants, sorry. But now, why we are here? And this is exactly to point a bit about the synergies that we can have together from both industries. Of course, at first place, this is connecting IT and maritime industry. And through the synergy between the IT sector and the maritime industry, Varna can be positioned itself as a hub for innovations and economic growth. And this is also linked to our vision of ICT Cluster Varna. With this gaining some international visibility, of course, it's not said that we don't have it, but we can sustain it and foster it. And from this perspective, making Varna a regional hub for maritime ICT innovation through some demo projects and a conference like this. Next, probably pillar where we can gain some synergy. This is innovation through collaboration. Again, by combining IT expertise and maritime know-how, we can basically unleash new opportunities, and it can be unlocked the digital transformation, which is anywhere nowadays, but we can go further also with using AI-driven optimization and enhanced solutions. Hopefully I'm still on time. Something new? Maybe. Okay, good. The education and talent development. Here, through effective and active collaboration between Naval Academy, maritime companies, and ICT cluster, we can empower future professionals with enabling them and giving them the necessary skills to transform both industries. And this is exactly the suggestion here, that together we establish one joint tech direction where we can basically provide a combination of IT and maritime disciplines. We can provide new training programs which are tailored to the needs of both industries. We can have joint courses between ICT and maritime to build interdisciplinary skills. And of course, last but not least, students' new internships in ICT companies, which for the maritime sector. These are just some points. There are many more, but we are here, we are open. And if you have any interest, please come contact us, and let's see where the future will bring us. Thank you very much. Once again, I will... Any questions? No questions? Okay, thank you very much.
So thank you for a nice presentation. The next item from our program, it will be very nice. It's present from team of Planetarium, Naval Academy. It's one planetarium show.
First of all, thanks to all of you being here and sharing your valuable time. And of course, for all the foreigner participants being our valued guests, we are very happy to summon all of you during such a wonderful and insightful event. Of course, I have the privilege to close this important event, I believe not only for us, but for you, by adopting this final act and resolutions of the Global Compass Maritime International Forum. I strongly believe that all of you have positive meetings, fruitful decisions, and respected new friends. As I said, we hope that you have your pleasant time, because with Captain Stoyanov we have a little delay. I don't know if you already got a tour, a small tour in the premises of Naval Academy, but if not, this will follow. Yeah. Okay, I'm ready to read to all of you and to state our final act and resolutions of the Maritime Forum Global Compass. Final act, the Global Compass International Maritime Forum, Varna, 4th of September 2025. The Global Compass International Maritime Forum was held at Varna on 3rd and 4th September 2025 under the official theme Beyond Horizon, Advancing Maritime Innovation, Safety and Responsibility. Representatives from leading shipping industries, organizations, maritime administrations, technology developers, training centers, international observers, and maritime companies from various countries participated in this forum. The forum was made possible thanks to the support and sponsorship of Bulgarian Shipmasters Association, Municipality of Varna, Navi Bulgar GSC Company, MTG Dolphin, Cargill, Bulgarian pilots, Nikola Vaktsarov Naval Academy, Ship Possible Company, Unity Ship Management, Seaman Syndicate, and EHB Shipping Company. We also extend our particular appreciation to EMSA and RightShip, whose leadership and expertise in advancing safety and sustainability at sea greatly contributed to the forum's discussions alongside other strategic partners such as Cargill and Navi Bulgar. We, organizers, participants, supporters, and stakeholders of the Global Compass International Maritime Forum, recognizing the pressing need to advance innovation, safety, and responsibility in the maritime sector, and taking into account the increasing role of new technologies such as artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, autonomous systems, drones, and green shipping technologies, which is of course our panel 1 maritime technology. And also here taking in mind the geopolitical challenges, wars, trade disruptions, sanctions, and growing threats to maritime security, our panel 2, geopolitical and trades. Acknowledging the urgent necessity to develop sustainable, green, digitalized and secure port and terminal infrastructures, our panel 3, ports and terminals, and emphasizing the crucial role of seafarers and the importance of their mental health and physical and professional well-being, along with their treatment, education and skills, our panel 4, crew welfare and education, and guided by the 2025 IMO World Maritime Theme, our ocean, our obligation, our opportunity, highlighting the responsibility and opportunity for the shipping community to protect the oceans as the foundation of world trade, climate balance, and sustainable development, and taking into account the recommendations and guidelines of the International Maritime Organization, International Chamber of Shipping, European Maritime Safety Agency, RightShip and P&I clubs, and inspired by collective will of the international maritime community to embrace responsibility and cooperation, express our concern and declare our support for a global maritime agenda that combines innovation, safety, sustainability, and responsibility to ensure a resilient, future-oriented, and human-centered shipping industry. Resolution number 1. In today's era of rapid technological transformation and geopolitical volatility, all states and stakeholders should foster the development of artificial intelligence, smart port systems, green technology, and cybersecurity solutions, eradicating substandard practices, and reinforcing maritime resilience. Number 2, Considering the growing impact of global trade tensions and political instability, firm and innovative steps must be taken by the international maritime community to safeguard navigational freedom, strengthen maritime security, and ensure stable shipping operations in warlike and high-risk areas. Number 3, with respect to sustainable port and terminal operations, we urge all industry stakeholders to accelerate the transition to green, digitalized, and quality-assured port infrastructures, embracing both environmental protection and innovation. And number 4, we
advocate robustly for seafarers to be granted internationally recognized rights to work under safe, fair, and responsible conditions, with due attention to mental health, education, certification, and protection against piracy, disruption, discrimination, and harassment. We are confident that all participants in this forum, together with our contributors and key partners, will contribute with their utmost efforts to the aforementioned cause, and thank you for your consideration. Done at Varna, this 4th day of September 2025, in the single copy in English language. Thanks for your attention. As our CESMA President Captain Dimitrov stated at the beginning, this resolution will be, together with the signatures of all participants, will be sent to the all key and valuable institutions, including IMO, including the committees of EMSA and the Committee of and the Transportation Commission of European Parliament. So, having that, we will declare what we discuss here and what we are treating as important matters for the crew members and for all the stakeholders. Thanks for your attention and thanks for being here. I will give the floor to Captain Stoyanov.
Post our forum, and we of course invite you for tonight.
Hello everybody, and let's say, ladies and gentlemen, and Senor, thank you for your kind attention of our International Maritime Forum. I look little tired faces, but anyway, I think that we make a good job. I want to thank once again to our distinguished guests from Iberian Peninsula. Thank you. Muchísimas gracias. And of course, thank you to Emirates that they attend our forum. To representative of USA, I already say thank you. And the guy from Connecticut is absolutely in stress about the level of the forum here in Varna, because the level is very high, and from Bloomberg TV probably will make a special additional program regarding the forum, probably next week or maybe the 10 days after today. We have invitation officially from Bloomberg, and we make a special TV interview in etc. with some of the participants. Anyway, I want to thank you to a Bulgarian guest and participant of this forum, International Forum Maritime Global Compass. The forum, it's possible to see in the YouTube channel of our website. And just now, I want to say that we have a lot of people which just see during the streaming of the presentation of more than 500. This is a very, very high number of person because anyway, this is the working time and the working day. And I want to thank you to our team. With Sophia, fortunately, Sophia just now guided our tour to treasure in our museum, Central Museum in Varna, in municipality of Varna. And of course, I want to thank you to our President Roman Radev for his patronage and for Mayor of Varna, municipality of Varna, for support to the event. As I say, my friend Professor Khalilov, Naval Academy probably will be the cost of the second day of our international forum because this is here is the heart of sea industry, of sea industry in Bulgaria. Thank you very much, and I expect you tonight, or if you want to go sightseeing in the sea capital of Bulgaria, to Varna, you're invited. Thank you.
Also, we would like to thanks to Associate Professor Radev for having this spectacular exposure.